Obama, he's like Sherlock Holmes looking into the price of oil. Why is it so high? He can't figure it out. But he's going to investigate. He's going to get the big magnifying glass out. Now, no doubt it's the super evil oil companies out just to gouge America's eyes out, along with the doctors that are cutting children's feet off. That doesn't make sense because the oil companies have to sell gas to people, and if they can't afford it, then they'd go out of business. So that doesn't really work. If the president wants to find out why oil is so expensive, he might want to try thinking about the EPA. Because the EPA today told Shell, the evil oil company, that it can't drill in Alaska this summer as planned. No! Now that one move flushes $4 billion of Shell's money right down the drain and jeopardizes the oil pipeline in Alaska. Mr. President, does that make gas prices go up or down? The oil companies need people to keep buying their product or they don't make any money. So what is it? What's happening? Now, that's what the president wants to know. But he doesn't suspect only the big oil companies. He suspects the evil futures traders, the diabolical speculators. And he's having the Department of Justice look into it. The DOJ, the futures trading, speculators are traders, right? Futures trading, wouldn't that fall under the auspices of the FTC, the Federal Trade Commission? What do I know? I'm just a boob on TV, right? He's the president. Do you not have enough people in the FTC to make sure that you've got that down, or what's the deal? Of course, you really want to find the culprit, you should be looking at the Treasury and the Fed, because that's where the money printing is happening. I want to show you some charts again that I showed last week. You'll find them if you go to glennbeck.com. Go to glennbeck.com and see the data for yourself, and I urge you to send it out to your friends, because this is critical that you understand it, because the great shell game is about to happen again. And it will be blamed on the corporations and the banks and the gas and everything else except the culprit. It's not about the oil companies or the speculators who were blamed for the high oil prices in 2008. It's not even about the Middle East. It's about the devaluation of the dollar. I'm going to show you some charts and go over, and these are what you find at glennbeck.com. This relationship between the cost of oil compared to the dollar. Here's the dollar. As it goes up, price of oil goes down. As it goes down, price of gas or oil goes up. What's happening here? It's almost a mirror image. Why? Did you know that the price of oil is pegged to the dollar? If you want to buy a whole big barrel of oil, you have to go to OPEC. And they got their hand out and say, pay me the money. Well, you can't pay with a yen, you can't pay with a euro. You must have dollars. So what happens is these guys have to change their money into dollars so it can go to OPEC. Now, if we're devaluing our dollar, what happens? This big hand just makes it, let's say, that's what happens. If you would buy, if they would accept it, if you could buy oil with gold, gold is going up. So is oil, both commodities. Watch this. Here's the dollar. It's the dark green. The dollar goes down, and gold goes up. It's again, as it goes up, gold goes down, up, down, up, down. Got it? I told you to buy gold when it was $670 an ounce. I was called crazy for telling you to do it. Today, it closed at over $1,500. What was it, $1,511? That's insane. The 8th straight day, it was up. Let me show you another one. Dollar versus the euro. The U.S. dollar is measured against 6 other currencies to determine its value internationally. 6 currencies, the euro. The chart in here is the British pound, the Japanese yen, the Swiss franc, the Canadian dollar, and the Danish krona. Here it is. Here's the euro, and here's the dollar. Oh, look at down, up. Down, up, up, down, up. You get it? In March 2008, we hit an all-time low in the dollar. Since the beginning of this year, it's down another 6.4% against the 6 other currencies, and it's about to fall through the floor. QE, 1, 2, 3, 4. I don't know if you've heard of QE or quantitative easing. But what that basically is, quantitative easing, it's a made-up name. That just means this: print more money. Push it out. Today, the Dow was down 26 points, closing to 12,480. Look at the market activity over the past year or so, because you'll watch quantitative easing. Quantitative easing is ending, and the market goes down. Oh, quantitative easing, they're going to do it, they're going to do it. It starts, got it? Caused investors to warn of seismic shifts in the market. If something wasn't done, you've got to print more money. So the markets dropped. Then look what happened when the Fed announced the good news that QE2 would start. Market went up again. Tunisia uprisings. Look at this. The Middle East is on fire and it still goes up. But here, we'll finish this in a second because I have to show you a couple of other charts that you didn't see last week. These are critical because the booger bear, as Mike Huckabee says, the booger bear is the Fed. And that's no conspiracy. The numbers show it. When you have to figure out who's causing my gas and food prices to go up, it is the Fed. More in a second. Charts to show you what the devaluation of a dollar looks like. I want to show you this last one. Remember, QE, quantitative easing by the Fed. It means print more money. When they do that, the value of your dollar goes down. And because oil has to be purchased with dollars, people holding euros have to buy dollars and give it to the Saudis, and they'll give you the oil. That's the way it works. So as we devalue our dollar because of QE, quantitative easing, print more money, things go down. Now, how about the stock market? We showed you that the stock market had a spike when QE2 started. Let's take a look at this. The red line is the stock market. See it? The blue line is quantitative easing. The blue line is how much money we're printing. You stop printing, the market goes down. You start printing, the market goes up. We're playing with monopoly money. And Ben Bernanke is the man with the monocle. That's what's happening. What the president thinks is happening with oil is happening. Someone is driving up the price of oil. But Mr. President, please, you went to Harvard and Columbia, and I bet you watched Romper Room when you were a kid, too. You're a pretty smart guy. You know it's not the speculators, it's the Fed. It's your policies with the Fed. Maybe the DOJ should look there. Oh, perhaps they will if there's a new administration sometime in the future. Same thing is happening in America with your food prices. A war in the Middle East is not helping things with gas. And major droughts in America not helping with the price of your food. 38% of this winter's wheat crops are in poor to very poor condition. Last year, it was 6%. Not good. But your food prices are not because of global warming, and your gas prices are not because of speculators. They're because of the Fed printing more money. Period. Back in a minute. On the program about the vicious attack at McDonald's in Baltimore. And if you have kids, hopefully they haven't shown this video to you. Tell them to leave the room here, because it's one of the most disturbing things I have ever seen. This is... What possibly can be done to combat this? Hate crime legislation? More of it? How about a ban of fast food? The answer has to come from within each of us. This is one of the reasons why I encouraged the flash mobs of kindness last week. Let me tell you about one example of human kindness and decency from somebody who participated. It was sent in from Karen. She's 17 years old. She writes, "My parents and I decided that we would take up this challenge ourselves, remembering the many times when we had been out of work for years at a time and people had helped us with love, gifts. Mom and I," she writes, "decided to head over to Walmart to pick some things up. We put our money together and got a $30 gift card and several bags of groceries. And as we got in the car, Mom said to me, 'Karen, we need to pray about this, that God would direct us to the right person to give this to.' As we walked up to the doors, a woman came out. I stopped her and I asked her if she was unemployed. She said, "Honey, I've been unemployed for a year and I'm on disability." But she was in a hurry. I stopped her again and I said, "Do you have children?" She sighed and said, "Yes, I do." I then pulled my gift card from my pocket and said, "This is a $30 Walmart gift card that we'd like to bless you with, and we have some bags of groceries if you'd like them." The woman broke down and started crying. She was so relieved that she could now buy gas using the gift card. When she asked, "Why y'all doing this? What church are you from?" Karen answered, "Ma'am, we're not with a church. We just were led to do this because we're American brothers and sisters, and Americans take care of Americans." You have to read the whole story from Karen. You'll find it at glennbeck.com. The government can't fix these problems. The answer is us. The answer is turning back into a moral and virtuous people, turning back to God, and be better. We must become the people we were born to be, not the people we've allowed ourselves to become. That the entire network is going to be broadcasting from London for the rest of the week to cover the royals' weddings. I'm kidding. I mean, who cares about the royal wedding? I mean, what idiot would do that to a... We'll see you tomorrow night here in New York. From New York, good night, America.